Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell, if you would please. If you're new to the channel, continue to share us with everyone. We appreciate all of the new followers. Okay, I have a black tie event that I have to get to. And so I'm just going to go straight through this, all right? All right, so we had a lineage of things that happened over the weekend. We had Thursday or Friday of last week, we had the president say, no, anyone that's doing chips with China, you're going to get punished. You actually need to stop, right? And then, of course, the tariffs, all right? Here we go. We're going to slap a tariff on that. Boom, right? That happens. Then the courts say that the president does not have the right to fire the Fed, right? And this Fed is Fed power. Market likes that, goes up. President says, hey, Fed, come over to the White House. The Fed accepts. He goes over there. They sit down. They talk about the economy. Then the courts say, you know what, Mr. President, you overstepped your bounds. You cannot do these tariffs, these reciprocal tariffs. And the president says, yes, I can. So he files an appeal and gets a stay on the appeal just to catch you up. So good news, bad news, good news, bad news, good news, bad news as the stock market whipsaws. Then we have the Ukraine situation going on, right? They're supposed to be in peace talks, okay, in Turkey. And while they're at peace talks, they're ramping up strikes on each other. And then we have the other wars. We don't need to even get into that. Now we have the president, our president of the U.S. is supposed to be talking with President Xi. At the time of filming this, I didn't hear anything. It was supposed to be today, and now it's this week, right? But here's what I will tell you. President Xi is not a pushover. For those of you in the hood, he ain't no punk. Okay? And so that's what it is. They're coming. They've been winging themselves off of us as a trade partner, and they've been doing a workaround. And they remember, the U.S. is a couple of hundred years old. China is a couple of thousand years old, and they have a whole different way. So let's see what comes out of these talks. Either way it goes, even if the president doesn't get what he wants, he's going to come back eventually and say, hey, we won. It's a better deal. Let's go for it. That's what's going to be good long term for the market, right? Now, let's talk about this month, the month of June. Let's go back. Let's go back to May. Okay, let's go back, way back to last month. All right, May. There's a saying, sell in May and go away, right? Because June is traditionally a bad month. We have a good, strong start, but then by the end of the month, this market could fall apart. Now, a lot of people are bullish this time, but I do believe that we do run the risk of this month, June, falling apart on the second half of this month. It may come in the fourth week. We don't know. Now, this is not a promise. If it doesn't happen, I'm glad. So if it doesn't happen, don't say, Larry, you said it's going to. I don't have a crystal ball. Okay? So I just telling you what has happened historically so you can be prepared. Today, we had all of the indices went up. Okay? But what happened first? They ran up. They were down in the pre-markets. We got some I believe some manufacturing data, whatever, and then it went up, right? Then we had a sell-off. And then since the sell-off, there's been a steady run up, okay? And so that was good for us to close the way we closed. As you could see, we had the NASDAQ. That is 122 points positive. It was negative in the morning. And then boom, it jumped. Okay, it didn't jump positive to around 11 a.m. And then we have the Dow 39, S&P 24, right? So take all of this in linear order because it's going to help you to make a decision. Okay, so then we had S&P post modest gains to start June as investors shrug off global trade tensions, okay? And we have a lot of tensions. So the president also put a tax on all steel. So you had companies like Cleveland Cliffs and other steel companies surging this morning, absolute surging this morning. So I want to play a clip for you, and then this is going to talk about the stock market, and then we'll come back for crypto.
Than it did in February.
And you think a bull market started April 7th, or a new bull market started
Yes.
April 7th? In everything, because the NASDAQ already, if you just use 20% to measure what is an actual bull market, people think we need a broader indicator, a broader reason to call something a bull. But at this point, I think the S&P is also in a bull market.
Yeah, I think that the waterfall decline into the April lows was such a reset of sentiment. You know, people talked about Armageddon, and we saw some of the most rapid deleveraging of hedge funds ever, and a collapse in investor sentiment, and a huge change in positioning. So those are, I think, things that look like what happens in a bear market. And the ISM has never broken above 50 in a sustained way. Market tops usually need an ISM to stay above 50 for a period of time. So I think we're at the start of a bull market. And as I look at 2026, I think housing could actually be a big lever to pull next year.
What do you think?
So Tom Lee is still bullish. Now, he's suggesting that we could be in the beginning of a new bull market. I want you guys that are new to investing to understand that does not mean it's a straight line up. We could still fall apart at the end of this month and go on to have higher highs in the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow by the end of the year. So understand that it's not a straight line up, and also understand that these tariff wars, it's not done, okay? It's not done. So plan accordingly. Still, I am buying the dips, but not selling the rips at this point. I'm still buying the dips and holding. Now, let's talk about crypto. Let's listen to the price prediction of Mr. Tom Lee. Now, you guys know I had the CEO of Hive Digital on one of crypto's Bitcoin miners. I had CleanSpark from last week as we interviewed them at the Bitcoin conference. And I talked to another person that was deep into crypto, another crypto miner, and they all think that we're going to have a fall surprise, okay? And the average number for Bitcoin was about 180. Listen closely to what Mr. Tom Lee says.
What's Bitcoin? What is it moving with? Just risk assets at this point? It got back to an all-time high, which you were forecasting as well. But
yeah.
Now I think, what are we, 104 this morning? So it's pulled back.
Yeah, I think it's consolidating. It makes sense. You know, Bitcoin is responding to global liquidity, which is moving up, and I think anticipating a dovish Fed next year. So that's a tailwind for Bitcoin. But, you know, Bitwise has a great stat. You know, 95% of all Bitcoin's been mined, but 95% of the world doesn't own Bitcoin. So I just think that there's still a huge demand versus supply imbalance, meaning there's a lot more potential buyers of Bitcoin over the next 10 years. And so I think there's a lot of upside into year end.
So you heard that, good people. 95% of Bitcoin has been mined, but 95% of people still don't have it, okay? So I'm going to bag it up a little bit and listen to what he has to say as it pertains to price.
Into your like 150 target.
Yeah, 150, maybe 200, even 250 this year.
What? 150 to 200 to even 250. And what's you don't have a terminal price on that, do you?
Well, it's I think at a minimum it should have the same network value as gold. Mm-hmm. And if you look at above ground gold, it's probably 23 trillion. So that would be, you know, 1.2 million for Bitcoin. But I think Bitcoin is more valuable than gold. So, you know, Bitcoin could be 2 million, you know, 3 million long term.
So guys, that's Mr. Tom Lee. He's a permabull. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. So people are still bullish on crypto. I don't think it's over, but this just me not thinking that it's over. Here's what I will tell you. The number is never high as everyone think it's going to be. So if they say 180 for Bitcoin, if it gets to 150, that's a blessing. As a matter of fact, from where it is now, around 104, if it gets to 130, that's a blessing. And you could put a 1.8 multiplier on the altcoins as it moves north. All right, you could put a 1.8 minimal. Okay, now if we hit 180 per Bitcoin and it holds, and the altcoin season will really wake up, and the altcoins outperform Bitcoin by 2 to 1, would be insane. And then the meme coins will wake up again, and we could have a lot of liquidity pour come running back into crypto. These are the things that could happen. So I will tell you this. If you think the end of the month is going to fall apart, which it could, here's what I will tell you. I am cashing up. I am not investing every dime that I'm putting into my crypto and or my stock. And the stock that I am up a little, I have stop losses on. And it doesn't matter what portfolio it is. So it'll trigger, and I'm looking to get back in because I do believe that we have a lot of upside in stocks and crypto. Okay? So you guys, let me know. And I know some of you guys are perma bears, some are perma bulls. Let me know. Is it over? Leave me hashtag over. Is it not over? Leave me hashtag not over. For those of you that are in Money Moves, I need you to join me live tomorrow morning. I will be dropping a link tomorrow morning, and I'll be making a post in Money Moves to let you guys know what's going on. We got some pretty interesting stuff that's going to happen this week. I'll be spending more time there. This will be a light week for me making videos here on this platform. I am going to be focusing my efforts in Money Moves, but I'm going to try to still get at least 3 out this week here. All right. We'll see you back here. If not, come join us in Money Moves. It'll be the top link below. Live, love, laugh, and learn. Gotta go.